It's Jay. Hello. It's probably going to be a quick video because I'm recording on Thanksgiving. So if you celebrate, happy Thanksgiving. If you don't have to. Totally valid. Not my favorite holiday. I have everyone else who's participating in the description linked. Today is day 13. Today's question is, name a movie, game, or TV show with Indigenous representation that you enjoy. Looking at the background that I have today, I have Reservation Dogs, which is one of my favorite shows because it's so funny and yet also is really good about just showing native life. Like, obviously, it's different on every res, but there's like a lot of native aspects that are in the show that I really like. Some of them are funny, some of them are kind of sad because, sometimes it's sad. But yeah, I really like this show. And the other show I like that I don't have a picture for because I was too lazy and busy is Rutherford Falls, which came out about like a couple months before the first season of Reservation Dogs came out. And they actually have multiple people from that show on this show. I really like that show. I wish some of the characters had made it onto Reservation Dogs, since Reservation Dogs actually had a chance to complete its story where Rutherford Falls got canceled, which I kind of figured it's going to get canceled. It wasn't entirely about native culture, but it was like a huge aspect of it. Like, I might talk about Rutherford Falls first, just because I know what I was going to say about it. But yeah, so my husband and I, we checked out Rutherford Falls, and Rutherford Falls was probably like the first really good representation my husband had who was white on native culture without like without like just seeing my family and some of my friends. So it really like opened the door for him a little bit, and the Reservation Dogs really cemented some of the stuff. Like, he was able to pick up on the humor pretty well. And then of course my Resi side came out when I was watching it because I was like, yes, I felt at home with that show. But we really liked Rutherford Falls, and what I like about that show is that because one of the characters is like a clueless white dude who's best friends with a native person, it kind of, not like accurately, but it kind of showed my like personality with my husband. Kind of like when he first got introduced, like he didn't really know anything. He was very like worried about stepping on toes or doing something wrong. The main white dude in that show obviously wasn't really like that. But there was some awkward moments where like some natives were poking fun at him, and then he's like, "Oh gosh, are they gonna get mad?" And then they just kind of laugh because we're kind of used to that. So that was kind of funny. But I especially love Harry from Rutherford Falls because he is exactly who my husband would be if he was born native. Like, their personalities are like perfect. He is constantly getting on me about how I need to sell my beadwork and market myself, and how if I go to the right clientele, i.e., white people, I could get way more for what I want if I like, hype it up a little bit. And I'm like, I most of the time I like beading for me. I like making stuff. Most of the stuff I give away. I'm basically Harry's daughter in that show, Maya, who's like, I think she's like 13 or something, who just wants to have fun with her grandma and make stuff for her friends and give it away for free. But my husband is Terry, who's like, no, monopolize on that. We laugh at that show so much because that's who he is. That show has a special place in my heart just because that little dynamic is so fun. But yeah, Reservation Dogs is probably my favorite just because I love that show, and it came out at like a really good time for us, especially the last season. Basically, like the duration of the show, but mostly from the last 2 seasons. My father-in-law's health was declining pretty rapidly. Like, we had like 2 scares where we thought he wasn't going to make it. And then he ended up passing around the time of the season finale. Not like huge spoilers, but there is like a death in the community. I don't know, that was really healing to watch. That came out, especially for my husband. So I feel like that helped him a lot. And then I really resonated with Willie Jack just because she was fun and loyal and just the funniest character. Freaking love her. But I also really liked her family in that show. I think out of all the characters, she had the most stable family where her parents loved and appreciated her even when she was doing like stealing stuff and being a thug. They loved her, and I really just resonated with that because that's what I want my family to be like. I want us to be like a close knit group where we could talk about anything, do whatever, and then like obviously people have flaws, but her family was like really supportive of her. She wanted to be with her family and her community, so I was like, freaking love Willie Jack. There's other Indigenous representation that I like. There's a couple like children's books that I've been collecting for my kids when they get older. There's more representation, and I cannot thank Creator enough that there's more representation that's positive representation for these next generation. I know I had to grow up off of like the Pocahontas Disney movie and Brother Bear and other stuff, which varying degrees of not the best representation to kind of okay to other stuff, but there's just more real representation nowadays, so I'm really excited about that. Those are my favorites, is Reservation Dogs and Rutherford. And if you haven't watched them already, you should definitely check. They are really funny, but also tackle real issues. Thank you for listening. Bye.